So stop me if you've heard this one before. I lost track of time. Cycle 1600. I ran into multiple problems that I had to fix. One of which up here was trying to bleed heat off of this cool steam vent was causing a big problem. In that it's a big wad of like 70-degree heat down here. Decided I'm going to fix that. The entire water softening package is gone at the moment. I'm not worried. I have whatever, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, whatever, 16 times 16,000 kilos of oxygen. So that's not an issue. Big pile of hydrogen. That's not an issue. For sheer humor value. Since I was moving this all over here anyway, and I want to move a bunch of stuff around. The problem is you have to like find some place to put all this. This thing is eventually going to be its own tank. Yes, it's dumb. It's absolutely dumb. This mess, since I am already bringing up petroleum, which may or may not become crude oil, I don't know. I might. I'm still uncommitted as of yet. Do my oil refining up here, just so the guys don't have to go all the way down there. Mostly because the only things down here these guys actually need to do, someone occasionally runs in and NGs tunes up this. That doesn't take very long. Oh. I had a bunch of solar running off of one cooling loop and it was not working at all. All of a sudden I had a building, iron power transformer is damaged and overheat and blah blah blah. So the complex got a little work. Still haven't tackled these yet, but I'm building up towards it. Now that they're rising pressure, I gotta wait for them to cool off, and it's gonna be like 100 cycles before they kick in again. Eventually, the only reason these guys should have come down here is to run some oil wells and NGs tune up a few things. In which case, I will give them a transit tube access so they don't have to walk back and forth a whole bunch. Right now, someone's coming down here, converting a bunch of crude oil into that. It's. I know I've only got 3 of these. I've got 3 oil wells, which is enough to keep one refinery running, which on its own is enough to keep 2.5 generators running. That's if it's constantly. I've never built a petroleum boiler. I have enough bad things happen with high temp applications with me as it is. Plus I managed to vac up most of the liquid down here. So we're good on crude for a while. Not eternally, but a while. Which is why I figured if I moved I'd only need 1 refinery up there. I've got 2 just because I would plug it into here, and these oil wells would just run into here, which would feed 1 of these. But then, how to put it? These guys would always have a supply. As long as I leave enough in there, one of these would always have enough supply, so I wouldn't have to worry about any downtime between when they come down here to pull off the wells. This fissure I still gotta play with. This is geotune. Yeah, geotune twice. Coming up nice and hot. I'm getting a decent flow out of it. Okay, yeah, these things make 3,300, I'm getting 1/8 of that, but it's one, constant, and two, the dupe labor is performed way up closer to the base. I don't have to worry about, theoretically, in theory, I could geotune that twice, or 2 more times, or I could geotune that guy 4 times. Strap a, what? Two steam turbines, and just pipe down petroleum. Maybe, not sure. I just, like I said, spot fires. Always the goddamn spot fires. Oh, I decided to briefly open a window here to deal with some carbon dioxide. It's getting away on me. I have to lock these guys away in something, so they don't overheat. And I'm not sure if they overpressure. But I'm thinking like I'm gonna move these guys somewhere I can block it in and deal with all that carbon dioxide, because holy crap, they're filling this thing up. Like I can't. Okay, they're just feeding plants. These are just feeding plants, and the amount of carbon dioxide they create is just, it's becoming unreasonable. I tried to have these things down here dealing with some of it. They immediately overpressured, and because they overpressured, it wasn't happening. Fat cushion air up here. Whole lot of heat I'd rather not deal with. What do you have? Something I need, something I don't. Fertilizer. I've also had hatches and... I mentioned this last time. I've had hatches and poker shells and Pacu come up. But they're not native to this asteroid, so I didn't want to grab them. They'll be available in one of the other ones I find. I figure if I do it that way, it's not quite as cheaty. That's the theory. This is gonna... No, that run didn't need to be... This outside run doesn't need to be radiant, does it? In and back out again. So I've got to put a liquid lock here. It's going to come down like that. Yeah, so this outside run's got to be insulated. Like so. Then once this is completely... Oh, of course, because there's goddamn freaking polluted oxygen here. You know what? My patience for this grows thin. I'm gonna get rid of all this garbage. If I liquid lock that, then I can do whatever I want in here. As far as water processing, and the temperature shouldn't get too bad. I'll probably bring down... I need to bring this down. Yes, this is... It's 9 above, and it's 9 above because of polluted dirt. I don't know why it's not going back on there. It's just clearly I have made a mistake here somehow. I've been doing this to cool the polluted dirt so it doesn't cause all kinds of heating issues in the base, and it resulted in heating up my brine. Although since this is the water that goes to the showers and everything, I'm okay with it being like above freezing, so I don't have to worry about heating it back up again. Now if I get down here, I should be able to do some kind of temperature controls. Please get rid of all this crap. Please, so I can work down here. Oh, I didn't lose track of time halfway through an episode. I was deliberately doing something stupid. While I was waiting a minute, I decided to test out whether or not I could actually help with the decor in a couple areas. I know a lot of people that build, they're gonna skip layers. They'll have one that's like glass on both sides and a bunch of statues in between, which I get. Unfortunately, I don't really think that way. I get why they do it. Right, you can have one spot that's kind of ugly, and then all the statues underneath help out. The problem is that I'm trying to do some heat management here. This was all up around like 30 degrees because I'd forgotten to insulate some air pipes. Slowly going back down. The toilets kept plugging up. I had to resort to drastic measures. This is half empty now. Before it was, I've topped out a couple of times. I know some people don't like this. You know what? It's in the game. I'm going to use it. That's how this stuff works. The project, one project was this. A bit of a slightly quicker corridor to get over to these guys, which I think I got them on a build of a 7. That's my priority over here. Yeah, those can get done whenever. I'm not going to break this open while that's trying to erupt. I'm going to wait for it to go dormant again. And I think kind of ran myself low on steel. Reservoirs and aqua tuners cost a bunch. I still want to seal these in. I don't really super duper need all the materials, but one of the reasons I wanted a geoactive was to actually have to do something with all the geysers. This guy here is going to get done eventually. Just a really, really low on the, yeah, speaking of low, this guy's really low on the priority list. I'm not. Goes off every blah, 2 grams. It's not even a whole lot of oxygen. And granted, it's just another one of these, right? Like, it's just another one of these. I could just as easily break this open. Pipe that into here. No, I couldn't. I would have to do another one of these. Which isn't like that would just be that much room, right? Not a really big deal. One thing that is a bit of a big deal is this. That's a potential load of 46. 46 and 3/4. 48. 49 and change. I'm at the point where I've never had to do this before. I'll have to split my power grids because I think the odds of everything kicking in at once are pretty minimal. I think I topped out at like 15. But the possibility is there and I don't like it. Granted, power is absolutely not an issue whatsoever. I have plenty of hydrogen. Finally emptied, just pushed it all over there. Have a bunch of natural gas, which looks like a bunch, but I don't seem to produce quite as much as I think. That thing has run dry at least once. And now this takes a long time to count down. Like the issue is there's two different. That one's at what? 78. We go down here. This is kind of an emergency generator. It's a bit of lag time between some of these. One will kick in and it'll just take forever. It'll prevent the other one from kicking in. There's so much going on. So many aqua tuners, and this is finite here. These only give me the ability to run realistically. What do they kick out? They make... Those give me... The 3 of those will give me 10 kilos if they ran all the time. This guy turns 10 into 5. I am not going to try to build a petroleum boiler. Just not. I don't trust this thing. Self-sabotaged a few times. This has broken all of its guts a few times. If I try a petroleum boiler, I will have something absolutely horrible happen to me. Maybe someday. You know what they say, the first 2,000 hours are just a tutorial, right? I was looking for this little guy. Him and several generations of his family were locked down here, initially to plant pike apple bushes and plume squash seeds, and he got left alone for a while and planted everything he could get his little mitts on. There are... I think most of Sleetwee was here beforehand. This one obviously wasn't. And all of these, a whole bunch more plume squash weren't. I just left him alone. I just let him go to town. We have plume squash. 230,000 calories of plume squash. A lot of it tends to just sit on the ground here and deep freeze. Okay, I built this with the intention of putting something over here so I could vent carbon dioxide. I have since chosen not to. I'm going to open a couple of these things up here. Just so I can get at... I don't want to open this bleach stone up. There if I do that. That. Don't uproot him. There's also, I couldn't tell you how much pike apples down here. 20,000, 19,000, 19,000. For the longest time I was worried about running out of pike apples because I wasn't producing enough mammoth poo to make enough phosphorite to feed enough of these guys. Meanwhile, there are probably saw this pike apple, 600,000 calories of pike apple. And if that's not enough, we'll pile it up here. And then I don't think I've ever had that much food kicking around. Maybe because I just haven't gone this far into preservation. We on preservation and lack of dupe labor, I think was part of it. I picked up a couple of dupes. It's at 16, which is just what this is going to make. So if I go... The plan was 24, and if I go to 24, I'm going to have to build another bit of oxygen production. I think I got rid of almost every... Nope. Or still a handful of alveolaris kicking around. Just to eat up the carbon dioxide from this polymer press. And that's pretty much it. I took these down because they caused this issue, where I've got... Oh, I'm down a ways. I had like 17 kilos worth of friggin' atmosphere in here, and it was causing problems. None of the stuff down here. And then because there's so much carbon dioxide, it just held in all the heat and killed them all. Well, it stifled them, which killed them. You get the idea. So I'm sure we've all seen. What now? What? For reals? You've never complained before. You know what? I'm in the middle of something, you shut up. Oh, you! What the hell is your problem? You're not storing anything. That's gotta be because I'm running leftover water through it. 90 some. How are you? What is going on here? You're only 240. You are running wild. What on earth? That's broken. You're gonna crap out. Take a break. Cool off. What the hell? Try to do something and everything just breaks. It all just breaks constantly. This side's doing fine. Pipe blocked. What now? Oh god, okay, you know what? You're all getting hooked up to infinite water storage. I'm gonna have to. It's the only way this stuff works. Oh, grumble, 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 grumble. Why are you so hot? Gotta be this guy. It's gotta be this guy running wild. The weird part is he's only trying to keep these three cool. That shouldn't be an issue. This shouldn't be that hot. Yep, I got this down here. I maybe I'll have to use it. I'm gonna get mad for a while. I'm gonna finish this and this so they can break too. And maybe my next episode, I'll be done putting up spot fires to actually advance the frickin' tech tree or anything else I'm supposed to be doing. I'll see you in the future.